The tension in the studio was palpable from the very beginning, a simmering undercurrent that no one could ignore. Blake Shelton, the well-known country music superstar, had appeared on The View to discuss his latest album and his ongoing projects, a routine promotional visit that should have gone smoothly. But from the moment the cameras rolled, there was an unmistakable spark of friction between him and one of the hosts, Joy Behar. What started as casual banter quickly escalated into a heated clash that left the entire studio stunned, with producers frantically signaling for calm behind the scenes. Shelton, known for his easygoing charm and playful wit on other talk shows, appeared uncharacteristically defensive, his jaw tight, his usual grin replaced with a look of sheer frustration. The audience sensed the tension immediately, murmurs rippling through the crowd as the interaction grew more intense with each passing minute. It all began innocently enough. Joy Behar, ever the outspoken and candid host, asked Blake about his views on some recent political events and social issues, a topic that has often sparked lively debates on The View. Shelton tried to navigate the questions carefully, attempting to maintain his light-hearted demeanor, but Behar pressed further, challenging his answers with sharp commentary and pointed follow-ups. The conversation, intended to be insightful and even entertaining, quickly spiraled. Blake's responses grew increasingly curt, and what began as a civil discussion turned into a tense verbal standoff. Behar, refusing to back down, continued to challenge him, her voice rising just enough to cut through the usual studio chatter, drawing gasps from the audience as each retort landed. It became clear that neither party was willing to compromise, and the exchange started attracting more attention than the original topic of discussion. Producers, realizing the potential for a live broadcast incident, began signaling from behind the cameras, attempting to steer the conversation back to safer ground. But Shelton, clearly irked, had reached a breaking point. In a move that shocked viewers, he abruptly stood from his seat, gesturing toward the hosts with a mix of incredulity and exasperation. The cameras captured the moment in real time, showing the singer's frustration as he voiced his feelings about the direction of the conversation. "I came here to talk about my music, not to get into a debate," he said sharply, his voice cutting through the studio noise. The statement, while brief, carried an unmistakable edge, leaving the hosts momentarily speechless. Joy Behar, never one to shy away from confrontation, fired back immediately, her tone equally sharp, creating a palpable standoff that left the audience on the edge of their seats. As tensions rose, the studio atmosphere shifted from lively discussion to uncomfortable silence punctuated by awkward exchanges. The other hosts attempted to mediate, with varying degrees of success. Whoopi Goldberg, ever the calm presence on the panel, tried to lighten the mood with humor and reassurance, but the air remained thick with tension. Co-hosts chimed in, offering words of encouragement or redirecting questions to avoid further escalation. Yet Shelton's body language betrayed his mounting frustration. He leaned forward, arms crossed, eyes fixed on Behar as if daring her to continue. Each response he gave was measured but laced with unmistakable irritation, signaling to the producers and viewers alike that the situation had escalated far beyond a typical interview. The energy in the studio became electric, with cameras panning to the audience members who seemed equally divided, some cheering in support, others silently shocked at the unexpected confrontation. The turning point came when Joy Behar, trying to push for clarity on a particularly controversial point, made a remark that Shelton interpreted as a personal jab. The singer's face tightened, and in a moment of raw emotion, he interrupted her, his voice rising slightly as he defended himself. "I don't appreciate that kind of comment," he said firmly, and the studio fell silent, every eye on the unfolding scene. The normally composed Blake Shelton had revealed a side rarely seen by the public, a man pushed to his limits, standing his ground in the face of criticism he deemed unfair. Behar, equally unflinching, responded with her signature blend of wit and boldness, escalating the tension further. For viewers at home, it was a rare glimpse of unfiltered personalities clashing on live television, a reminder that even the most polished celebrities have moments where emotions take control. The producers made a swift decision, recognizing that the situation could potentially derail the entire segment and disrupt the broadcast schedule. They intervened discreetly, signaling Shelton to step off the set. At first, there was a tense pause as everyone awaited his reaction, unsure whether he would comply or continue the argument. In a decision that would make headlines later, Blake chose to leave the set entirely, walking past the stunned hosts and cameras with a mix of anger and disappointment. The audience erupted in a mixture of applause and stunned murmurs, reacting to the sudden and dramatic exit. It was a moment that would be replayed across social media platforms, news outlets, and entertainment shows, sparking debates and discussions about what had transpired behind the cameras and why a celebrity of Shelton's caliber would choose to exit a major daytime talk show so abruptly. The aftermath of the incident was immediate and widespread. Social media platforms lit up with clips of the confrontation, fans and critics alike weighing in with their opinions. Some defended Blake Shelton, applauding his decision to stand his ground and refusing to be drawn into a discussion he felt uncomfortable with. Others criticized him for walking off, arguing that as a public figure, handling difficult questions gracefully is part of the responsibility that comes with fame. Joy Behar, meanwhile, took to her own social media accounts to address the situation, defending her line of questioning and emphasizing that her goal was never to provoke a negative reaction but to engage in honest dialogue. The back and forth between fans, celebrities, and commentators only fueled the story, turning it into a viral moment that dominated entertainment news for days. Industry experts began analyzing the incident, offering their insights into what it meant for both Blake Shelton and The View. Public relations specialists noted that while the clash was a PR challenge, it also highlighted the human side of celebrities, showing that even the most composed figures can experience frustration when pushed too far. Media analysts debated the implications for daytime talk shows, questioning whether the format, which often blends entertainment with controversial topics, inherently invites such confrontations. Meanwhile, music industry insiders speculated on how the incident might affect Shelton's career, noting that controversy often has a dual effect: drawing attention to his work while also potentially alienating certain segments of the audience. The story became a case study in modern celebrity culture, where personal boundaries, public perception, and media dynamics intersect in unpredictable ways. Despite the controversy, Blake Shelton continued with his promotional tour, addressing the incident in select interviews but choosing to focus primarily on his music. Fans eagerly consumed every update, dissecting his words for insight into his state of mind during the confrontation. The View, for its part, acknowledged the incident publicly, reaffirming its commitment to open dialogue while emphasizing the unpredictable nature of live television. The clash between Shelton and Behar became emblematic of a broader cultural conversation about civility, personal boundaries, and the pressures faced by public figures when navigating a landscape where entertainment and controversy often collide. Analysts pointed out that the incident, while dramatic, also humanized both parties, showing audiences that emotions are complex and reactions are not always scripted or controlled. In the weeks following the event, interviews with studio staff and insiders painted a fuller picture of what had happened behind the scenes. Some described tense moments of negotiation, producers attempting to calm Shelton while simultaneously managing the flow of the live broadcast. Others highlighted Behar's steadfast approach, noting that her experience in handling high-pressure interviews allowed her to maintain composure even as the situation escalated. These accounts added depth to the narrative, revealing the intricate dynamics at play when a celebrity guest clashes with a high-profile host. The incident became more than just a viral moment. It was a study in human interaction under the spotlight, a reminder of the unpredictable nature of live television and the pressures faced by everyone involved. Ultimately, the clash between Blake Shelton and Joy Behar left a lasting mark on daytime television history. Clips from the incident continued to circulate online, generating memes, commentary, and debates that extended far beyond the initial broadcast. For fans of both personalities, it was a moment of revelation, showing sides of Shelton and Behar rarely seen in public. For the industry, it was a lesson in crisis management, audience engagement, and the delicate balance between entertainment and confrontation. And for viewers, it was an unforgettable example of the drama that can unfold when strong personalities collide, reminding everyone that even in a controlled environment like a talk show studio, emotions can take over, leading to moments of tension, surprise, and ultimately, compelling television.